everybody.
We back
We back again.
and no friends.
And
We have no friends this week. None whatsoever.
Very
Dear.
sore.
You are.
Very sore.
I've been training for it.
We haven't stopped. We haven't stopped all weekend. So
We haven't stopped in a while, to be honest with you.
yes.
Like, I feel like almost every week since, like, the new year, every weekend there is something to do. So it's go, go, go all week. And then on the weekends, it's whatever we have planned.
Well, this is getting pre-recorded and will be launched on Sunday.
Yep.
This weekend that we're into, the Sunday, is the first weekend since I worked it out the other day, since the second week of January, that we haven't gone somewhere
Or been,
been doing
just been
something for
super
the
busy.
company.
It's honestly crazy. I'm not used to it. I am used to having at least every few weekends where I have time to chill out, maybe have a Harry Potter marathon,
Yeah, possibly.
something like that. And like not having that, it's just weird. And I am starting to hit to that like burnout stage, I think. I think we've already hit it and now we're just kind of
Push
trying
through
to power through it. Yeah.
This is going to be a good recoup weekend
Yeah.
for us. And then let's get it going again. This week, the video is kind of about what we just experienced. The 2024
RV show.
Toronto International RV Show.
Okay.
This is the big one that happens every year.
Yeah.
So you've got the Tampa RV Show, the
You have some big ones
Hershey
in the States,
RV
yeah.
Show, and then you got the one.
This is our big one in Canada,
Yeah,
right?
this is the big one.
There is smaller ones that go on. Like I know there's I think a Kitchener Hamilton one coming up. I'm sure there's some maybe like out west, out east. But like this was the major one. This is where people travel to come to.
Now, this one was done at the Convention Center?
The International
International
Center. It's
Center
by
in Toronto.
Pearson Airport. I'm sure you guys have all probably been there if you live within Toronto area for some type of expo.
Now, this one took up 5 different halls.
Yeah, this one was a big one. This one takes up pretty much all of the International Center. Is that not? Or is there like a part that I just never see?
No, it took up pretty close to all of it. There were spots that there was nothing, but very minimal. We'll get into our opinions and everything like that of the RV show, what we think,
So I have a question
what
for
we
you
experienced.
before we fully get started. Now we are, as you know, everybody knows, we are very much knowledgeable about RVs, about dealerships, and like obviously done our research before going to this RV show,
Yes, we did.
right?
Yep.
How easy was it to know where to go and how to do things there?
If you had the map, which day one, so we went in day one, we were there day 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, we were not. That
Oh,
is a
sorry.
lie. We were
Sorry.
there day 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
We did not go in Thursday. We went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they've already done a full day of the RV show.
So, yeah, it was open Thursday through Sunday. We went in Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this. From what we were told, there weren't very many people that went in Thursday itself. It was more of like the dealer setting up, people that were very, very interested in getting something.
I highly suggest if you know what trailer you want and you're just waiting for the RV show,
Go in Thursday.
go in Thursday or go in like early Friday morning, because then you don't have to deal with all the crowds and you can like actually get to know like your salesperson who's going to be dealing with you and get all the paperwork done early. And then plus Friday, the banks are already open. So that's a plus sign too,
Now,
right?
before we go any further, we'll get back to
Yes, go ahead.
Thursday. Yep. Cool. Friday, we went in at 10, and I found Friday They were a lot better than they were Saturday and Sunday. The people on the front doors, they were handing out books. They were handing out like bags, like free gifts, but they were handing out the map in one of the books, the map of the Toronto International. Well, the show was laid out where every dealership was. The only thing I have negative about that
Mm-hmm.
is some of the dealerships that were in the book did not show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were some in the book that like, oh, they're in this corner. They weren't there. They didn't show up at
I
all.
didn't take notice of that at all.
They were smaller dealerships, so I can't say we're missing a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but they were smaller dealerships.
Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were put in afterwards or something too, right?
I
They,
don't
They
know.
probably put like the big ones in the spots they needed to be, and then kind of fit.
Built around them.
Yeah, like, oh, you're only bringing like 20 RVs. You don't need that much space. We will work around you after, kind of thing. I don't know.
Now, I will say this. Friday was busy.
Mhm.
Not going to lie there. That was busy. That was a busy, busy day. Saturday, as we've been told, got a record.
Yes.
They had the most people at a RV show in Toronto on one day go through it.
And don't quote us on the number, but I think it was around 9,800.
9,800 people
Yeah.
walked through
So
that
almost
facility.
10,000
Almost 10,000 people.
people. Yeah.
I-
I had to think there to make
Yeah.
sure I was saying the right
And
number.
like we said, we were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We didn't have a booth.
Mm-mm.
We just walked through with Trailer Park Fire's gear on.
Yeah, you might have found, if you did go to the RV show or you're a dealer at the RV show, you might have caught
Seen
on
us.
to what we were doing. We were just kind of placing like stickers, business cards, things like that around so that people could see it. People could probably grab it, especially the stickers, which I think was like smart on our
Yep.
end to do, so that they could just grab the sticker. Nobody's just going to throw out a sticker. I'd hope not anyway. So hopefully it gets us a little bit more traction.
Hopefully it does. I think it worked. But that's what we did. But Friday, like for us, I found Friday, like, okay, it wasn't horribly busy. It was. Like there was I'm not gonna lie, there was still a shit ton of people in
There
there.
was. I was actually surprised at that, the fact like it was busier than I thought it would be on a Friday.
And I found, like, we went in at 10 on Friday.
11ish.
Yeah. 10:30, 11ish. I found prior to, let's say, 4 o'clock, we were good. There was tons of space.
Mhm.
We could go in any trailer we wanted. It was good. 4:30 hit, and it was like, oh shit, the floodgates just opened.
Well, everyone got off work and we're like, oh, let's go to the RV show because it's only $10 today.
Yeah, and like from 4:30 to about, like, we stayed till about 6, and it closed at 7. But from 4:30 to 6, I would say, like, to me, that was the busiest time. Like, we were shoulder to shoulder with
Mhm.
somebody, or like you were having to wait on somebody to either get in the trailer, get out. Like, it was, I don't want to say it was bad or poorly laid out. There were some trailers that were, like, why the hell are you
Yeah.
where you are? But Friday wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Saturday, on the other hand,
Saturday, honestly, I found the morning because we got there pretty much like right when it opened.
10 o'clock, yep.
The morning wasn't too bad. It didn't start to get like hectic until about noon hour,
It
like
was
lunchtime.
10 to 12,
Mhm.
like from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I found it was fine.
Yeah. And like honestly, the crowds weren't bad. Like walking back and forth, because we did that a lot too. We'd walk from like entry 1 to entry 5 and then back.
We were getting our steps.
That wasn't so bad that I found. I found it was bad because you'd go into certain trailers that were like like the stop and see trailers, like
Yeah.
the major ones, and it would be like crazy packed in that trailer, and you couldn't even get in because of the way like you had to walk in the door, and there was just people everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
and
You
that's
can't
what
even see the trailer that
that's
way.
what sucked for me too.
Mhm.
I didn't like it. But I can tell you now, Saturday from 12 till about 4:30, that place was jammed.
Yes.
You
Yes.
couldn't move without hitting somebody. You couldn't turn. You couldn't come out of a trailer. Like the whole day you were pretty much going, sorry, sorry, my bad. Sorry, I apologize.
We're Canadian, right?
My bad, my bad. I'm sorry. Like it was I don't want to say horrible
Yeah.
because nothing of the show was horrible. But it was like, holy crap, there is so many people here.
But like you have to expect it. It is Saturday, right?
And there were 9,800 people rolling through there.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. But actually, didn't we find that it did slow down a little bit? Or was that Sunday?
4:30, around 4:30.
Yeah, people were like,
Around
okay,
4:30,
time to
5
go home.
o'clock, it started to slow down. We left at 6. We
Yeah.
didn't stay till 7. Again. Now, we went in at 10 on Sunday. Now, every day we had somebody with us.
Mhm.
Like our friends were with us, family was with us. So
We were never alone.
we were never alone. There was always 4 of us walking with trailer park fire gear on. Sunday, I found the easiest. Like,
Did you?
I found the morning, the 10 till, let's say, 1 o'clock time frame, 2 o'clock time frame, was busy. Like, I'm not going to lie there. It was busy. It was like everybody got up and went, we got to go now before it closes. Because he closed early on Sunday. He closed at 5.
Yeah.
So I found like, holy shit, everybody from that like 10 to let's say 1:30, 2 o'clock time frame, it was busy. But from 2 on,
Yeah, it started to slow down. It was
we could
very
walk down the
nice.
aisles like
Yeah.
with both our hands out and we weren't touching a soul.
Yeah, which was nice. So, like, honestly, guys, if you don't care about crowds, then go on a Saturday. But if you do and you don't like to deal with the crowds, go on like a Thursday, Friday, or Sunday, depending on what days you can get there, right? Best bet is probably a Friday or Thursday, in my opinion. And honestly, guys, majority of the time, the deals are the same. Any day you go.
Yep.
Doesn't really matter, so.
Now, what was our opinion on the setup? Like, what was your opinion on the entries, the layout of the thing, of where the dealerships were?
So I will start off with when we were getting there. Most years that we've been, the people who are standing outside, like, you know, they're supposed to be there to like direct traffic and stuff, did not do like anything. They just stood there, which was like, I was just like, oh, okay, I guess you can park anywhere, which is fine. But like, you know, most of the time they like will come up and be like, hey, or go ahead and just park wherever, you're good to go, kind of thing. They didn't do that. They just stood there, which like, okay, whatever, right? The doors themselves, I know from like being on the website buying tickets, I know that you could only enter entry 5 or entry 1. There
Correct.
was no other places you could enter or exit from.
Correct.
You had to go through those 2 places, which in my opinion is fine because I'm not a smoker. I don't have young kids with me.
Mm-hmm.
I just have him, which whatever. So for me it was fine, but if you were a smoker, you had to literally walk all the way back to 1 or all the way back to 5
Yep.
just to go have smoke. I personally thought that was kind of ridiculous, but like, okay, cool, whatever, right? When it comes to the setup of the dealers though, I personally want to say I would much rather the dealers that are bringing the most amount of trailers, I feel as if should just be like across from each other. Like you don't have to put them at like entry 1. You can put them like in the middle of the show or whatever. But I really do truly feel like those trailers, you're going to be in there the most. So, like, put it so that they're just back to back.
I was going to touch on that.
And then,
I
like, put
will.
all the smaller dealers, like, either, honestly, for me, I would probably put all the smaller dealers probably towards the front so that people can, like, go into them and actually see them. It's the first things they're seeing. And then put, like, the bigger dealers towards the end so people are leaving anyways, right? And, like, any show-stopping trailers, hey, you know what? You should put those in the middle so that people are seeing them, right?
I'm going to say this. I agree with you that the smaller dealerships should be at the entrance. And
so they're not skipped.
Yeah, so they're not skipped. This is why they're small. I'm going to say this. There was a giant dealership in Hall 5. A giant dealership. They had the most trailers of anybody at the show.
Yeah.
And they were put in there with 3
Smaller
other
ones.
small ones.
You couldn't even find the other ones.
There were some people that never left Hall 5.
Yeah.
The whole weekend. They just went in. Oh, they found their trailer in this very large group and left. Where there are other dealerships in there that would have possibly gave you a better deal, everything like that. So to me, it was poorly laid out, like poorly in the how the International Center laid it out. I would have, like I said, made, and we'll say names, Lazy Acres, Niagara, Mackenzie's, and Sincard's. They would have all been in the middle for me. All in that middle.
Now, like, obviously, we're not the ones who set up the RV show. Maybe there is, like, a method to their madness,
Possibly.
to why they did it. I would say that there is some trailers that I would have much rather been in different places, especially if they were show trailers. Like, having them right in the middle of, like, the show, I don't know, man. It was just a lot. Because you'd have a lot of people going in, a lot of people coming out, people walking by, people lining up to go in. So it was a little bit of a hot mess, especially because it was near the food courts.
Yep.
Too. So, like, you also had people, like, going back and forth. It was a little messy there, but, like, overall, the setup was pretty decent.
Except for a couple. I can't remember what dealership was. It made you go down like an aisle and then hook.
Oh, yes.
Hook right. You hooked right, which whatever. But it brought you into a dead end.
Yeah.
It brought you into 2 trailers that were pointed like this that you couldn't get by. So you literally had to go down and come right back out. But people were getting pissed because, okay, everybody else is doing like the grid system. And this one is down hook. And it was shoving everybody down that corner. And it was starting to get hot. People were starting to get pissy. Their feet are sore. Everything like that. So, like, maybe don't create dead ends.
Yeah. I think that would have been, like, just, you know, that's a trailer placement problem where they should have maybe thought that one through. Like, honestly, one of the dealers, I remember that it was, like, super easy to get in and out of the trailers was Niagara Trailers. They were very much, like, you'd walk
Grid
down the
system.
aisle, you could go, you could just, like, turn and then go down the next aisle. That was very well laid out, and I don't know if they thought about that or if it was just like it just kind of happened, but honestly it was probably one of the best laid out dealers. And I'm not saying there wasn't any others, there probably was, and there was probably some that actually mocked exactly what Niagara Trailers is. I just remember Niagara Trailer being a big dealer and it still being super easy to get in and
Now,
out
we
of it.
did have a conversation with a few people in Niagara Trailers, and the way that they were laid out was the owner, John's brainchild. He didn't want anybody to feel like you were forced to stay in Niagara Trailers.
Which is
He
very
wanted
helpful.
He wanted exits everywhere.
Yeah. For somebody who's claustrophobic, I like that.
And I feel, and this is my personal opinion, I feel they got more business because of that, because it was, okay, yeah, you saw a salesperson, but it was like, okay, I can go over to this food court, sit down, have
And
the
think about it.
conversation, and come back in, and they won't even know I've left. So to me, very smart
Yeah.
idea.
Now,
Yep. Okay.
speaking of the RV show and the dealers, they brought trailers. They brought
Yeah.
lots of RVs.
Yeah, they did.
What do you think of the trailers that were brought? Do you think some of those trailers shouldn't have been brought? Do you think some of something else should have been brought? Like,
Okay.
let us know.
Here we go. Here's my personal opinion. There were a couple trailers there that I personally think shouldn't even fucking come. And I'm going to use F words now because here we go. Because I got heated about this a little bit on the weekend. There was one trailer, I can't remember which trailer company it was. It was there 8 seconds on day one, and somebody had already bought it
That was an actual RV, too.
and
Drivable one.
sold sign and put on it, and you can't go in it.
Unless you made an appointment.
So, like, get over yourself. If you're bringing it to the show, have the door open, let everybody go in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what's called the RV show.
And I personally think that that person who bought that RV was probably looking a couple weeks before or a month before and was told, just wait till the RV show and buy it there. But, like, if you know somebody was willing to buy it and purchase it,
Why'd you bring it?
why'd you bring it? They could have easily came in and been like, I want this RV, and, like, sign the papers and been done with it. You don't have to purchase the RV that is there. You can purchase a different one, do the paperwork, and it will still be there, like, afterwards. Like, you don't have to buy what's exactly at the RV show. They normally have sales on other
Yep.
things too. So, like, either that happened, or my other thought process was, like, the person was out of town and this was the only way they could see it was coming to the RV show. So, but either way, like, it was annoying because it was such a big RV that was taking up a lot of space, and now
It
you
was their
can't even
biggest
go
one.
into it unless you made an appointment for it. So, yeah, like, I would honestly say it would have been better off, like if they were able to remove it or something.
If you're bringing it, and like
and
I
I know
said,
once all the RVs,
if you're
in, you
bringing
can't.
I'm going to say it. If you're bringing a trailer to the RV show,
Mhm.
have it accessible to the public. I don't fucking care if it's sold in 8 seconds.
Well, even if I had bought a trailer at the RV show, I can tell you right now, I would have no problem with people walking in and out of the RV. Either way, it's going to get cleaned before I purchase
It's
it.
getting clean. It's getting PDI'd. It's getting everything.
Yeah.
But I just thought, like, and it was their first trailer going in
Yeah,
to their
it was
site.
very inconvenient for everybody else who
you
might have
walk
wanted
down,
to see it.
You walk down that aisle and boom,
Mhm.
sold. Can't go in it. Like, why did you even bring it?
Yeah.
Oh, heated, calm down. There were a lot of fifth wheels. In some dealerships, there was a lot of tow
Yeah.
behinds, stuff like that.
Which is fine because that gives everybody an option, right?
Yep. And then there were some dealerships that had a combo. They had about the same amount of travel trailers than they did fifth wheels. To me, it was not a bad layout, a mix of trailers. The only issue I had was some dealerships brought trailers that, unless you are a multimillionaire, you're not even thinking about getting it.
Yeah, I honestly can say I don't think some of the dealers actually thought through what RVs they were actually bringing based on, like, inflation, what people were looking for. Like, I don't know if some people didn't, like, they just didn't do their research or what was going on.
Like, I know some people that went to the show. We didn't see them, but I knew that they were going to the show that make over $250,000. And like, when you're going in the show and you get a budget of $100,000, that's not bad. That's a fairly high budget. But there were some trailers there that were, you had the two, I do believe, Riverstones that were at 202,000, and then the other one was like 190 something. And then you had a Brinkley there that was $219,000.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that price in the driving, like the RVs, the Class A's, Class C's, whatever. I understand that price.
I don't because, I understand it that way. But, like, look at all those modular RV homes.
They were less
They were
than...
119,000. Like, they were actually cheaper than buying a fifth wheel at certain places.
There was a double wide there that looked absolutely amazing,
so
beautiful.
amazing.
It had like 2 bedrooms.
Two bedrooms.
Three.
There
It had
was the
kids' one.
parents' bedroom, and then you had the 2 bedrooms right at the front. I fell in love with it, and I told him, like, let's just move out. We'll just get one of those on some land and be good to go.
It was 119,000.
Yeah, it was an amazing price.
There was a fifth wheel in the Lazy Acre area that was 200, and it was the Brinkley. It was 219,000. So how can you justify this fifth wheel? I do believe it was a toy hauler. How do you justify that compared to a 3-bedroom?
Yeah.
And everything was residential. The stove was residential. The oven was residential.
Everything, yeah.
Everything.
It was like living in a home. And, like, honestly, I get it where, like, dealers, they still want to bring their more expensive trailers because obviously there could be that potential that they'll sell it. But, like, I personally don't think you needed to bring more than one. And there were some dealers that did bring more than one. It was like, you could have just brought one and then put out other floor plans.
Now, like we said, there was one dealership that brought 86 trailers. Do I personally think they needed 86 trailers at the show?
Definitely not.
Definitely not, because people would get in their dealership and would get lost. Like, where's the fifth wheels? What row was that? Like, we even questioned, what row is the fifth wheels in? So it was literally like one of those that you just went, I'm lost. Where do I go? So do I think 86 was way too much? Yes. Do I think there is a happy number?
I think about, depending
50.
on what booth you have, I would say 20 to 50 would be more than enough. Because then it just becomes overwhelming for the person who's there, right? I will say, though, and, like, yes, we are fifth wheeler people, but I have no problem with people, like, with dealers bringing in a bunch of travel trailers, because that's what most people are in. There's only a very few selection that's in, like, toy haulers or fifth wheels like we are. But all of these small trailers that were there, the trailers that you literally don't even have to walk through to see the front to the end. Like, there's only this much room. They're, like, the size of the table. Why did some RV dealerships have, like, 30 of them? Like, why? What's the point of that? Bring in, like, 1 or 2 so people can get the feel of them. But, like, I personally don't think there's very many people, unless you're, like camping or fishers, like, things like that. Those are the type of people I could see who are going to be looking for those. But majority of people are looking for travel trailers. You don't have to bring 30 or 40 little trailers in.
I'm going to say this. You could have brought one of everything.
I agree.
The power of this device or an iPad or a computer is amazing. The internet is everywhere in pretty much Canada now. Like, you can't tell me, oh, well, pictures don't show everything. Yeah, they don't. But if it's pretty much this trailer plus a toilet, or this trailer plus...
That's the thing. It's not even like they can show multiple different floor plans. They all pretty much have the same floor plan.
It was stupid.
Yeah, it was a little wild. But let's, like, get on to the next one, because we could, like, talk about what trailers were there all day long, and I think it would be a hot mess.
It'd be a hot topic, too.
So, I have an inkling, if you want to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
that you have a lot of opinions on the salespeople. What is your opinion, or do you want me to start?
Oh no, I'll start this. Quit. First opinion, quit fucking lying. That's opinion one. Quit fucking lying. If
Well,
you say
you know
you've
what,
got
though?
it, if you got this trailer, then show me. Like don't say, hey, I think I have this one on the lot. Before you come to that trailer show, you should know what's on the lot. You should know with everything. It wasn't us, but I know 3 people that were told that the trailer was on their lot, and when they went in the next day, it was not on their lot. They had to order it in. That's extra money, blah blah blah. Like that's my opinion on number 1. 2, you're at the RV show. How about do this? Walk around and talk to the people.
Oh, that was so bad, guys. Like, there was so many dealerships that we would walk in. And, like, you know, we may not be looking at a trailer. Like, our friends could have been looking at the trailer. So we were kind of standing outside, letting them look through it. And we'd be standing there watching a bunch of salespeople stand around, like, the front counter or just in one spot talking. And I'm like, are you guys not supposed to be in and around the trailers for people who have questions? Like, are you looking to sell a trailer here, or are you just here?
I'm going to say there were 3 trailer companies. If they get Best in Show award for salespeople, would be Niagara Trailers, Mackenzie's, and Campkins.
Campkins was great too, yeah.
You couldn't walk through their dealerships
Without somebody asking you if you needed help.
multiple times.
Yeah. Or they'd be there. I think it was Mackenzie's where the people were actually in the trailers. Like being proactive about, like, oh, I'll stand here and tell people about the trailer as they walk through it. That was brilliant.
I had a joke through one of those because your parents went into it, and it was a big park model. And as they were coming out, I'm like, did everybody understand what Father Time had said? Because the man that was in there trying to sell it, I think was about 902.
That's mean.
I know, but like
You're 902, buddy.
he very old gentleman. Like it was hilarious because he was like, "Are you guys looking to buy a trailer?" Oh,
You got that old voice
yeah, I
down
know.
pat, buddy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But it was like Father Time was trying to sell this trailer, and he moved from nowhere. He didn't move, but I gotta give it to him. He was trying. That was his trailer, and he was selling the shit out of it. But like those 3 dealerships, Niagara, Campkins, and I would say Mackenzie's, would get Best in Show for their salespeople because they were constantly asking you, "Is there anything I can help you with? Can I answer any questions? Can I get a price on that for you guys? Can I get blah, blah, blah? Whatever. Can I get you water?" Some of the dealerships were just handing out water.
Yeah, they were just offering you a drink if you needed a drink.
Losers in show? I'm going to say it right now. Lazy Acres was a loser in show. You walk through that group.
It was hard to get a hold of somebody where I understand, like, they brought one of the most amount of trailers. I can understand how that can be overwhelming too, right?
Sincards.
Yeah.
Sincards was absolute dumpster fire. You walked in it, and they are one of the largest Jayco dealerships in the world. You walked in Sincards, and you pretty much had to tackle a salesperson for them to talk to you. And they weren't that busy.
No.
So, like...
And, like, again, like
and they
we've
were
said,
all at the...
we understand that, like, some of these dealerships have brought in a lot of trailers. So if you only have, say, 10 salespeople and 50 trailers, it is a little difficult to get to everyone. And we don't expect you to get to everybody. But how is there nobody around almost the entire time? We were there for 3 days. And it was very rare that we did see somebody. And if we did, they were all just standing at the counter. And it was like, oh, well, there's all the salespeople. Well, why aren't they actually around the trailers answering questions?
My biggest loser of the show in salesperson type deal will go to Hitch House. It's the RV one. We walked in and I touched the TV button because it said the TV would go up. I touched the button. They had a salesperson come in and say, "Can you please not touch anything?" Okay, you are at a RV show. Things are going to get touched. Like, it's inevitable.
If you
Things
don't
are going
want
to
it
get
touched,
touched.
then put
Don't
something
bring
over the
it.
buttons.
Don't come to the show.
Put something over the buttons anyways.
Like, if you're going to have a salesperson come in immediately and go, "Please don't touch buttons."
People aren't going to buy a trailer if they can't
See.
they can't see, they can't feel, they can't understand what goes on in the trailer. Sorry, but that's just how it is.
Like, I understand if you hit the brake or you hit the air brake on those big buses. I totally understand that. I get it. But don't tell me I can't touch a TV button or a couch button. Don't tell me.
A question for you guys. Would you buy a shirt in store without actually touching it?
'Cause
Or without getting a review on it?
if you came to the show and told us not to touch anything, like, we had 4 of us. There were 4 of us. As soon as that woman said, "Do not touch a button," we all got off the bus and left the dealership right away.
Yep.
And all 4 of us were looking for a trailer. So doesn't matter
it's a
what our
downfall
budget
on your
is.
guys' side, and maybe you guys should think about, if you don't want people touching anything, don't open the RV at all.
Now, one thing I did notice, and it was a bonus and not a bonus at the same time. The salespeople for a lot of the dealerships, I will say this: they were like, for Niagara, Mackenzie's, and Campkins, they were everywhere. They were helping out everything. But the only thing I found with all the dealerships is there was, especially around the very high-end price dealers, there were more people than anything. Like, I understand they're higher price. You want to get those bad boys sold.
But you don't need 7 people trying to sell it.
Correct. 2 or 3.
Yeah. And if you do, then your salespeople aren't that good and you should look for new ones.
Like, I will give Niagara and Campkins the round of applause for that, because they had like 2 people per section, and then they had like floaters.
Yeah.
Going in.
And then you also had the reps as well, who could tell you almost any detail you needed about whatever RV it was. I know Campkins did anyways, because we talked to them.
Campkins had 2 dealer reps. I do believe Mackenzie or Niagara had 1 dealer rep. Mackenzie's had 1 dealer rep. And they were all from different dealers. Like, I spoke to the Keystone Impressions dealer. I spoke to the
Cougar one too, didn't you?
Keystone Cougar rep for about a half an hour.
And it was actually perfect, because like we got a lot more insider information that we didn't know before, which we'll like be able to tell everybody else later on too.
Now, that was my opinions on the salespeople. I'm going to say this. I'm going to add some more, but it leads into our next point. Some people or dealerships.
It would be dealerships, I would say.
You
can't blame the sales guys for this one. You'd have to blame the dealerships themselves.
I agree, but I'm going to blame it on both.
Okay.
Worst in show would go to like the people that hide their costs.
Yeah, so we found out this little secret thing while talking to one of the sales reps in one of the dealerships that there was certain, and we're not going to give names on this. This is just something like we just would prefer
If you
not
want
to.
names, DM us and we'll talk to you that way. But,
Yeah, but
we're
we
not going
just
to
don't
mention
want
that
to
here.
announce it, right? Because we don't know all the facts. This is something we heard from another
Yep.
person. Some dealerships, when they put a price on their trailers, they don't put in the extra fees. That is something that you have to find out about once you're starting to buy the trailer in the bill of sale. You don't find this out until you're at that point, which there is a lot of other dealers, which we would recommend going to, that put in all of the fees and everything with the trailer itself. So, like, if something was $55,000 for the travel trailer of whatever, you would know that it was $55,000, not $55,000 plus the PDI, plus taxes, plus this fee. We don't need to know all that, to be honest.
Correct,
Like,
I
yes, I
agree.
understand that has to be on, like, the bill of sale, the receipts. Totally understand that. You have to do the breakdown there. But we just see $55,000 and go, oh, we can afford $55,000. That's a trailer for us. Not $55,000. Oh, the trailer's actually going to be $62,000. That I personally think that's a no-no. And to the dealerships that don't put out the proper price of things, F you. Simple fact, F you, because that's so dishonest.
She almost swore, guys.
It's so dishonest. Like, if you think about it, when you go to a store, or even if you buy something online, you are seeing the exact price of something before you purchase it. Before you purchase it. The only fee that may not be included is shipping. But once you get to the checkout, you see that shipping.
Or his taxes.
Or the taxes. But for the most part, you know you're going to have taxes. I'd be fine if they didn't even put in the taxes that was separate. Because you would think, yeah, I have to pay taxes on this. I live in Canada. I have to pay taxes. But when you have things like the PDI fee, that should just be included in the price because it's already done it, most likely, if it's already on the lot.
Well, to explain the PDI, guys, before it's I can't remember the exact name of PDI. It's an inspection of the vehicle. It gets PDI before it leaves dealership. So before it even leaves the manufacturer, it's
to get a
PDI'd.
Yep.
As soon as it comes off the assembly line, most manufacturers now have PDI as soon as it comes off the manufacturer line. As soon as it gets ordered by a dealership, it gets another PDI. So everything is good to go before they send it to blah blah. As soon as it shows up on blah blah's lot, it gets another PDI.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it is sold, you as the customer have to go down to watch the PDI for the last one because they have to show you that there's nothing broke, everything is good,
and they teach you
how to use it.
Yep.
So there's 5 PDIs. So,
and I'm pretty sure Canada has, like, when you get a trailer and you live in Canada, I'm pretty sure there's a PDI somewhere around the border too.
yep, there is coming in Canada.
Because it has to come into a different country.
So, like, why are you hiding that fee? We all know it's there. It's on cars. It's on everything. Why are you hiding this fee?
Mm-hmm. It should just be automatically in the amount. Simple fact.
I'm also going to say this with that. If you're putting a number up, I personally believe, besides without taxes, that should be your number. Like you said.
Mm-hmm.
If it says $122,000, it's $122 plus tax.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the sign should say.
We experienced it a lot of hidden fees. Like, we sat down a couple times to see about trailers. Once we got a shit ton of hidden fees. And I mean a shit ton of hidden fees.
And I got something to touch on that afterwards.
Oh. And then we got another one that was dishonest with its number.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with the sales number. And the third was straightforward, told us what the sales number was, told us what it was going to be.
Told us what would be a waste of time of getting, told us what wouldn't be a waste of time to getting.
So I'm going to tell you now, dealers that are hiding shit,
stay away from them.
Or extra fees, don't even fucking go near them.
Nope.
And if you want to know which ones it was, reach out to us. We'll DM you. We'll tell you.
We'll talk about it there, yeah. Now a little extra thing to touch on. There's dealerships out there, guys, that will ask you for a deposit, and there's dealerships out there that won't ask you for a deposit. Really think about the deposit you are paying before you pay it. Because I know of dealerships that don't require you to put a deposit down whatsoever. They don't care. They just, no, if everything goes through, we'll worry about it then, or whatever. Hey, good on you. I like you guys. There's some dealerships out there that literally say you have to put a deposit down, and they don't mean a $200 deposit. They mean a $2,000 deposit.
Yep, that was one dealership.
A $4,000 deposit. And
That was another one.
Sorry to say, why are you putting down that much of a deposit? It shouldn't be required. If you want to do that, you should be able to do it. But if it's not required, I don't know what I'm saying. I think I messed up there. If it has to be required that you're paying $4,000 for a deposit, that's a problem. And you might want to question it, because then there's little key details that they have to mention as well, which is, if you don't get approved for the trailer, you get that deposit back. That's fine and dandy. Awesome. But if you do get approved for that trailer and you back out, that deposit now becomes non-refundable. And you're going to try and take $4,000 from me. And when I decide I don't want this trailer, you're just going to keep that money? Not happening.
I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to be nice about it. I am not going to be nice in any way, shape, or form. If you're asking for a deposit over $200 from me,
I would say the maximum you should ever ask me for is maybe $1,000. But even that's a little expensive. But yeah,
I'm going to say this: if you're asking for a deposit over $200 from me, and you use the words non-refundable, go fuck yourself. And I'll say that straight into the camera. Go fuck yourself if you are saying it's non-refundable.
If now, in the case that you have ordered this trailer in, yes, I understand that there should be a fee there.
But if it's on the lot?
Yeah. That if it's on the lot, that's, I'm sorry, but there should be no non-refundable price. If you have to order it in and it's already been ordered, therefore the dealership already has to pay for it, whether you back out or not. Okay, I can understand that a little bit more, but either way, you can still sell that damn trailer.
This is my final dislike of the RV
show as we're winding it down.
If you have a price up there, honor it.
Mm-hmm.
We experienced this RV show. We are looking for one ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So we've been looking for months.
We've been looking for months.
Dealerships already.
We went to a dealership. I'm not going to say which dealership it is because I don't want to hurt their reputation. But if push comes to shove, I'll tell you who it is, because I don't want anybody to even go through them anymore, because I don't care about them.
Or at least watch what they're doing if they have to go through them.
So we sat down with a dealership on Saturday. and said, "Hey, the trailer was 119,000." I said, "If you bring it down to 109," and I put my hand out, I said, "We will shake on this right now. We'll do the paperwork and we're good to go."
Now, a little backstory on this trailer. We'll say it was a 2023, so it was already a year old. 2024s were coming out. They also had the 2023 and the 2024, correct?
No.
Oh, it was a different dealership that had the
Different
2024?
dealership has
Different
the
dealership
23
had the
and
2020.
24.
Yeah, had both. So either way, doesn't matter. We looked at this trailer back in November. It was $119,000.
So literally, guys, we went to the show and said, "You take 10,000 off,
Mm-hmm.
and we're shaking hands. This deal is done. We're good to go." We got told, "Hey, let me go see with my big boss and see what we can do." He goes, "But I think we can get to 110. He walked away for all of like 9.5 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
had his phone out, had it to his ear. So don't fucking tell me that you went and saw your big boss or you were on the phone with your big boss, because I know that's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. There's no way you can have a conversation in that time that quickly. So come on, don't fucking bullshit me." He come back and he said, "I misspoke. The lowest we could do is 120 at the interest rate that was at the show." Huh. You just went up $1,000.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, what if I don't want it at the interest rate at the show? I then got told, yeah, it's still 120. So you added $1,000 to the price that's even on your website or at your dealership? The trailer's there. It's a 2023.
Remember, guys, this was $119,000 in 2023, or sorry, in November of 2023. It is now February, I guess it was. No, it was March. It was March on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
March of 2024, and now it's gone up $1,000. We're at the RV show where trailer prices are supposed to go down, not up.
And then we got told if we want it, we have to put $4,000 down.
Guys, I am a very polite person, and I will literally sit through pretty much almost anything and not say much. It's just who I am. Guys, I got up and walked away.
She did.
She didn't even
say anything.
I couldn't deal with it, and I knew that, like, it takes me a lot to lose my patience. It really does. And I knew if I gave away to my feelings, it wouldn't have been good for me, wouldn't have been good for you, nobody. So I just got up and I literally walked away. I didn't say bye. I didn't say thank you. I walked away because the guy was just, it was just mind-blowing. Like, honestly, I can't say he was ignorant. He was very smooth about it all. I'll use those words. And he was obviously being a salesperson, but I don't think he was realizing that we weren't the stupid buyers. We were people who did their research, and he knew we were people who did our research. So we knew what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to sit there and try and charge me an extra $1,000? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I can say this, and I'll say it now. One of the cockiest salespeople I know.
Oh, very much so.
One of the cockiest, and I will never deal with that dealership again.
Yeah, we had already heard horror stories about the dealership. And, like, after that all happened, we were just like, sealed the deal. I probably won't be coming back.
I'd rather light my trailer on fire
Mm-hmm.
than go through that dealership again.
Mm-hmm. Which is very unfortunate. But
Now,
hey, things happen.
the positives, the best positives of the trailer show of 2024, to me, and I think to you too, was the manufacturer reps of the show.
Yeah, we had talked about this. I think they were probably the best part about the show because they were actually giving you actual information that you wanted to know about these trailers.
A
before
lot of
buying.
a lot of the dealers,
And they were very knowledgeable.
a lot of the dealers, if you asked about, let's say, a Durango, KC Durango, Gold Durango, the sales rep was there.
And they could give you all the specs you needed.
And he, like, the salesperson would go get the manufacturer rep, and the sales guy would stick around. But if you just wanted to ask some questions before you, like, really thought about this big decision that you have to make, he would sit there and pretty much shoot the shit with you.
Mm-hmm.
We had a dealer rep who wasn't busy on Friday afternoon or Friday evening. And he was a manufacturer rep. He sat with us for about a half an hour, and it was the Cougar rep, and I'll put it out
And
there.
guys, he was sitting down because his feet hurt.
Yeah.
It wasn't just because he was talking to us, because there was other people in the trailer that would come through and he'd be talking to them as well.
But, like, we asked so many questions because, like, we were kind of doing an interview with him, and he answered everything, like, from ACs, how many, what kind are they changing, and like water heaters, everything like that, garbage cans, everything. He answered. If I had a question or she had a question, it was answered. But the manufacturer reps that were there, I have to give a round of applause to because you guys were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's my positive.
And on that note, that was the positive part of the RV show. The most positive part about the RV
Was
show.
the
There was
reps.
positives, there was negatives. I'm sure there always is. But on that note, I think that's all for today.
Is it?
We will let you guys know on the next RV show, the deets, whether we will be there or not. And yeah, that's it.
All right.
So until next time, adios.
Bye, Newfoundland, Labrador.